It's music. Okay. Music stopped. I'm not echoing, right? Well, welcome to Pine Grove News Live. Blessings, everyone. It's on the East Coast anyway. Here in southern New England, it is pretty darn hot again. In the 90s again today. According to, I think it's Ottawa, Canada, was 107. Andrew, 107. Probably a feel like. So I think we've reached, over 100 with that as well. Still very humid. Still trying to talk my wife into moving away from all this humidity. She says I can go. So what that means, well, you may know. Music is still on. Okay. I know what I can do. Thank you, Kathy. I'm always doing something. Always some button that I'm missing or not pressing or whatever. Who cares? Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine you can't hear me over it. Thank you. Yeah, I did not want the music on. Thought I turned it off. Anyway, again, 6:02 p.m. here on the East Coast. Pine Grove News Live. Yeah, it's live, but it's still not YouTube live. But I fixed the problem. Well, I didn't fix it. I actually gave up. I gave up, I believe it was, what was it, Kathy? Monday afternoon, something like that. Yeah, when you finally started praying for me, and I was praying for myself. Lord, I give up. That's it. You want me on here, you're going to have to, take care of it yourself. Because after that, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But I went to Geek Squad, and I told some of the guys in Minute Standard Bulletin about that. Long-winded story, like when I talk here. But anyway, made an appointment, went down there, and go figure, it ended up being a power connector that is also used as a data transfer, and that is the very small USB, looks like that plugs in as power and then goes to your laptop as a 2.0, I guess, USB, so whatever. In any case, I'm waiting for the 10-foot cord to get here. I'll be here tomorrow. They did not have one in Best Buy, so, well, they had one, but it was only 3 feet. That means that I had to hold the camera in my hand while I'm recording. But in any case, it's fixed. You know, when I give things up to the Lord and stop trying to be bullheaded and take a whole weekend. I mean, I didn't get much studying done either, and I think that's the reason the Lord just put this all on me and said, just give up. And so, well, like I should any other time, it starts getting hard like that, and you get distracted. It's time to give it up. Time to move on. So many years I spent doing that. So, in any case, a couple interesting things going on today. Apparently, was it the O'Hara? I don't have the article, but World Watching told me that they had closed it down because I guess some terminals were flooded with this rain that was coming in from that one hurricane, Gordon, I think it was. Let's go to Gordon. Yeah, which is now obviously a tropical depression, Gordon. So that's what I heard anyway, that it was shut down. There's other news about New York too, and about a particular plane. We'll get to that later, that they quarantined. So we'll get to that. I'm going to talk about first about the weather. And this is from AccuWeather.com. Not weather.com that World Watchman uses over there in California. I don't know why, but they tell us different things. He calls me up and tells me my weather, and I'm looking on the map. I said, where? Anyway, that's how weather is these days. They don't really know either. Anyways, we still have a heat advisory in effect until 11 a.m. or from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. tonight. And we have two here that I have opened up. Atlantic hurricane warnings. Tropical depression now, Gordon, obviously, has come ashore and is dumping water like it normally does. That's what hurricanes do. They blow things down, rip things up, tear things apart, and they flood you out. That's what a hurricane does. And now, Florence. When I first got this, let's see, 6:06 now, I think I got it around 4 p.m. It was a Cat 3, Florence, in the Atlantic, right in the middle there, too. And when World Watchman called me, his daily call, he says, no, it's a Cat 4. So obviously I had to go and refresh that channel, and it most certainly is upgraded to a Cat 4. And there's other stuff coming behind it. I mean, like I said, we're in the peak season now, and looks like it's catching on fire. Have you seen charts of the temperatures over there? I mean, all along the equator, in the Gulf, they're 90 plus degrees. I'm going to show you a chart. I think there might be a chart here. Hold on. I wanted to show, yeah, here's the chart. It's just a chart from AccuWeather, the Atlantic Basin maps. You can see the scale there, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, is in the dark red, and then, from 80 to 90 goes from orange to dark red. And all around Florida, except for a couple spots there, all the way up to the Carolinas, you got a water temperature of 90 degrees Fahrenheit recorded. All in the Gulf of Mexico, except for a couple spots off the coast of Florida, and all along that area, along the Cuba, and Puerto Rico and those other islands, and Central America. I mean, temperatures are 90 degrees Fahrenheit. We broke records the past couple of years, and I think we're going to be doing it again. This is it's just food for the hurricanes, right? They love that warm water, and they grow and grow. They're talking about making a new scale. They talked about it earlier, about making a new scale for the hurricanes. They want to bring it up to, what, a Cat 6? Yeah. Wonder why they decided to do that, or even think about it. I mean, this thing, Florence, is already Cat 4. I mean, mid-Atlantic. When it gets into the warmer waters over there in the Caribbeans, is that what they call that, the Caribbeans? In that area where Florida and Cuba and Puerto Rico are, I have a feeling it's going to at least be a 5, and it may even actually hit land as a 5. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if it hit their Category 6. Just something to be aware of. Let's go look at the other two, Norma and Olivia, over in the Pacific. Let's see, one of them, Norma, is a Cat 3 now, and the other, Olivia, is a Cat 2. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out how fast they're going. It just gives us longitude and latitude. Winds of 100 miles per hour, gusts of 120, that's the Cat 2. But anyways, I mean, we're also going to talk about Japan. Yeah, had to have heard today that Japan got hit again with a 6.6 earthquake. We're going to show you some, give you an update on that and show you some pictures of results of that. And they just got done being hammered with another hurricane. I guess I think it was called Jebi or something like that. They're still, trying to pick up from that. And then they get this earthquake, and then, if these two remain out there, these two hurricanes in the Pacific, I mean, they could go and hit Japan again. I saw this towards the end of, I believe it was last year, when we were watching hurricanes off the coast of Florida spin, okay, and not going anywhere, just 0 miles per hour. We've actually tracked it. Actually know people who are in Florida, and they just got a record amounts of rains. I mean, 2 hurricanes just stopped right off the east coast of Florida last year and did not turn. I mean, they turned, but they did not move. You got to watch the weather. This is one of the things we need to watch for. The weather, you know, obviously, the whirlwinds. I mean, the Revelation, Book of Revelation, probably other places too, obviously. Now, they talk about the whirlwind, God's anger, you know, is stirred up. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I've seen a lot of these Pacific Island nations, I guess you can call them, countries that don't know God. They have, like Hawaii, they have many gods, you know, demigods, whatever you want to call them. Maybe they're first in being showing, you know, how angry God is. Yeah. So in any case, there's your hurricane update. That's 4 hurricanes and 3 hurricanes, 1 tropical depression, and the other one, Gordon, moving inland. And still raining on people. Yeah. So, let's see. From the end time headlines, Typhoon Jebi, Jebi. There's a picture here. Sorry for those who are... Well, this won't happen once I go live. Hopefully Friday on YouTube. You'll actually see the articles as I'm talking about them, and that's what it's all about. So you don't have to, you know, listen here and then go and watch the video to find out what the heck I was talking about. But anyway, Typhoon Jebi leaves 1.6 million people without power. 9 are dead, and 300 have been injured so far. And that's from the typhoon. Yes, I'm sorry. They're not hurricanes in the West Pacific or in the Pacific. They are typhoons, and what's the other name? You got typhoon, you got hurricane. What are they when they're over there by India? They're called something else. Pretty sure. You know that, Kathy? What are they called? Give me a little... You know what they're called? You got typhoon... Anyway, so there's that update on what Jebi has done to Japan. That's just giving you those statistics, but there's more for you to read. I'll leave this at the end time headlines and go there and catch up if you'd like. I would just suggest that we, you know, like we normally do, we'll pray for them. Yeah. Prayers do help. And this one, I wanted to talk about that other stuff before I talk about this. Let's see, no, I don't want to talk about that right now either. I don't want to talk about that. Well, let's go to the earthquake that they just had. Got an email. I normally get these emails for anything 6+. Still have to change that to 5+. I want to know about the 5.9s, the 5.8s. But anyway, in Hokkaido, Japan region, somewhere over there, 6.6 earthquake. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And there is apparently no tsunami warning. Okay, I've got this page up, and it says right here. This page is the one that's open. Right over here. Of course, you can only see part of it. And can't wait to go live. But anyway, the earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.7 occurred in Hokkaido, Japan region, 1807 UTC on Wednesday, September 5th. Based on all available data, there is no tsunami threat from this earthquake. Okay, well, at least they've been spared that. So, now we know that. Just, let's go take a look exactly where. I think it's right in the middle of the main island. You know, this interactive map here. Yeah. On one of the northernmost main islands. Hokkaido. I mean, what else is around there? I mean, you could take a look later. Right towards the shore, so I'm surprised. I guess it has to be, you know, one of the really big ones. Yeah. Well, I had a comment in here, but I can't repeat it. Big storm, yes, indeed. It was a big storm. Yeah, a big Bertha butt storm. Yeah, anyway. So 6.6, and yeah, somebody recorded it here, recorded as a 6.7, but yeah, they do change it around, man. They're up and down to whatever suits them at the time. Now, yeah, here's another article about the earthquake from Sputnik. Massive landslides buckled roads in Japan after that particular earthquake. Yeah, go figure, 6.6. So video footage reveals the damage caused by the magnitude 6.7, and Sputnik is calling it 6.7. It's just the USGS that seems to be having a problem with getting it straight. So it struck its northernmost prefecture Wednesday, including collapsed buildings, landslides, buckled roads, and power outages. We heard that. Let's see. So, yeah, and there are just some tweets here from people who showing video. You got a video here. I don't know if it's going to show me the actual landslide. It shows the results of it. Let's see. It says it was a video, but it's not doing anything. Could be this. There we go. No, it's just showing the aftermath. That is a big chunk. All the way up. That's a bigger. It goes all the way up the whole coast there. All that dirt and trees and everything just coming down. And of course, there's always happens to be people at the bottom of these mountains. Yeah, and see a lot of houses that are partially collapsed and dirt on top of them. Yeah, well, I don't understand Japanese either. Let's see. Let's go to that one in, this is breaking news. I believe this is from 911. No, Free Thought Project. Okay, airplane quarantined in New York as 100 passengers reportedly fall ill. So the CDC has quarantined the entire airplane at JFK Airport after more than 100 passengers fell ill. The counterterrorism team from the NYPD is also on the scene. Yeah, you know, they probably were using this plane to come over here and spread some disease or whatever they have. Remember, Ebola's over there, and there's an epidemic. And I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it. I've seen shows that are on TV recently. There's not too many that are new, so it was one of the ones that were new. I think it was called. It was the last episode of Jack Ryan. I think it was one of the last two episodes. They were actually dealing with that Ebola outbreak and talking about it, and there was no cure for it. And supposedly some strain was mutating, but anyway, these passengers are still quarantined. But, you know, they do, Hollywood and whoever, the elites, they do tell you what they're going to do or what they've done. And you just have to listen to it. You just have to pay attention, you know, to like you're doing now, listening to the news, and then, you know, it'll become apparent. Your discernment will understand where it's coming from. But they're talking about it boldly in Hollywood. So I don't know what they're planning on doing. But here, why is it counterterrorism there? Who knows? Maybe this was or is still a planned attack. I wish I knew what the heck they were carrying. So, but anyways, the counterterrorism police, they're still monitoring the ongoing quarantine of the immigrants after 100 people reportedly fell ill. Yeah, I already heard about it. Flight from Dubai, D-U-B-A-I, Dubai. I believe, is Dubai in Africa or is it in India? I think it's in India, but a lot of this stuff comes from Africa, so who knows? You know where Dubai is, Kathy? India, maybe. Anyways, immigrants flight 203 from Dubai arrived 9 a.m. this morning, with the pilot expressing concerns. Yeah, over dozens of passengers were sick with fevers of 100 degrees over and coughing. Yeah, that's a good sign. And they don't tell you much more, okay? Obviously, there's staging, there's ambulances there, according to these these pictures from Twitter. Cabin crew deplaning. This is, I don't know who this is from. NYPD counterterrorism said it was monitoring. Who's this from? Cabin crew. Apparently from somebody from the cabin crew. Why aren't they quarantined? So that's very interesting. You know, that's supposed to be one of these things that we got to watch out for, these pestilences and all that, and starvation. One of the main things. Saudi Arabia? Dubai is in Saudi Arabia? Maybe? Huh. All right then. Well, that makes it even more interesting, coming from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, all right, so let's just talk about what else we got here. Oh yeah, I want to make sure this update goes out. Okay, so parents sound the alarm on Momo. You remember us talking about Momo before? This suicide game. Okay, and parents are talking about it because 2 Colombian teens take their own lives because of it. I don't get any part of any attraction, whether you're depressed or not, about this game, but it does, you know, I have not played the game, but I heard that it kind of ate you on into doing it. So these warnings, again, have been issued to parents about a new WhatsApp challenge game that claimed the lives of 2 Colombian children over the weekend. The Momo game involves the young person adding Momo, an avatar of a bird-like woman with bulging eyes. Let's see, there it is again. It's eerie. You can do that with lots of software. And adding that to their WhatsApp group. The character, often someone in the group who was under the guise of a creepy profile picture, will then instruct the participants to do certain challenges. Kind of sounds like the Blue Whale game too. I mean, they wanted you to do certain challenges too. And that also was a type of suicide challenge game, whatever, from Russia. So the last of which is to commit suicide on both games. The Blue Whale and this Momo. So if the recipients refuse to participate, they are threatened with a curse or evil spell. Local news outlet Caracal reported that within just 48 hours of each other, both a 12-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy took their own lives as a result of being involved in the demonic game. And there's more. You want to go and click and get more. Very sad that the epidemic and the principality that is out there called suicide. And it's bad enough that this world has nothing to offer anybody except, simple, brief, materialistic gains, because they don't last. Especially nowadays, they're made to break early so you can go and buy another one. So nothing materialistic here is going to make you feel better. it's all just temporary. It is. It's just temporary. I think we all should be, stepping up and telling people that there's more in this temporary existence in life than video games and opiate addiction, whatever, drinking till you're, till you're dead. I mean, I know two people that have done that. They drank until they were dead. Arabia is central. Okay. So, I don't know, man. I've been trying, and it's not me. I mean, it's up to the Lord. I mean, I can go and try and do stuff myself, but like I said before, do stuff yourself, you're bound to fail. So, with prayer, you ask for Jesus to bring the Holy Spirit, and we take that lead and go with that, because we cannot do anything of ourselves. It really can't. It took me 40 plus years, I'm 58, to realize that, yeah, I mean, I've had my family, I have my children, I have my grandchildren, and that's about the only thing in this life really has anything to offer. Sometimes those kids, make you think twice too. Not really, but yeah. But it's all good. So depression, yeah, that's what this world does. That's what TV does. That's what these songs, these secular songs do. I even, we've talked about this in From Our Hearts about music and what it does to you. And for me, what's worked for me, and, in 1990, it was actually way back then, 1990, when they labeled the 90s the anything goes decade, I shut everything off. It was all remakes of the same songs anyway. It was no originality. Nothing was coming out new. Yeah, so it really does nothing but bring back good memories and a lot of bad memories. Because there's a lot of stuff that I don't really care to think about anymore. It's not who I am, it's who I used to be, and that person is, as they say, is dead. I've died to the flesh as much as I can, still continuing to constant battle. But we need to help these, it's college students, it's teenagers, it's our veterans coming back from these wars, from being trained. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. My oldest grandson, who was 18, we got him a job after hearing this, but he wanted to go into the military. I said, so like I said, we hurried up and we got him a job so he could at least think about it for a while. And so hopefully he'll not think about that again, or won't have to. But you go into training, you're 18 years old, okay? Your mind is still developing and trying to find who you are. You're an adult now, you're labeled as an adult, 18 to 21, depending on where you are. But you don't really, you're not an adult. You're still coming up being a kid and going through a lot of heartache or relationships that are good or bad. And, you're still going through all that mess. You're all messed up. Believe me, you are, good or bad. You're just not in the right place. And then they get trained, okay? Trained and disciplined and trained to kill. They're trained to kill. They are. 18-year-olds who can't buy a drink when they're back in the States because they're too young. Yeah, messed up. How messed up is this world, right? So in any case, I am so glad that I never thought about doing that up until 9/11, and not after that either. But if I went and was trained to be evil, take my word for it. If you can learn to kill somebody, I guess some people still have remorse, and that's why they come back and they kill themselves for what they've done, that they think that it's unforgivable, which it's not. Anything is forgivable. The Lord, forgives all of it, past, present, and future. We're in a system of grace right now, so take it while you can. Just need to believe in Jesus Christ and stop, beating yourself down. Got to get a bunch of us Christians, got to go out there and get on some kind of crusade for that, because it's a growing epidemic, and people, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I think you should get some kind of a training. I know I should, or let the Holy Spirit speak for you. Try and learn to do that. In any case, let's go on, because that subject that needs to be talked about some more at another time. Really does. So what do we got left here? We got this was the Starbucks thing there. Yeah, Starbucks banned a couple people who are ex-Muslims because they were wearing this shirt that says, "I'm an ex-Muslim. Ask me why." So, just happened to be, a convention going on across the street of Muslims. Don't know what they were there for, but just that they were there, and in mass. A lot of people. And this, I believe she said she was a Syrian. Don't know if they ever mentioned, religion, being converted to Christianity or born again or anything. They just said that they're just ex-Muslims. And I don't really think that they talk about it. They just talk about what happened there. They probably will talk about it later. I didn't read the entire thing. It's not a whole lot. So that's it. Starbucks, and it's always this big fat guy who comes out and is a bodyguard or security guard. And, well, got 3 minutes here. I don't know if you'll get anything out of it. I listened to it for a couple of minutes. They threw them out of Starbucks because of the t-shirt, period. I don't know what to say about all this. I mean, you got a baker being sued for not making a cake for a gay marriage. A lot of this stuff is happening, and where is the equality in all this that they're trying to get? This politically correctness. Is it because it's a touchy subject that they're an ex-Muslim? I don't get it. I mean, it's too much like Canada here in America. Canada does a lot of this, and it's normal there. That's why it's Canada and we're the U.S. They don't have freedom of speech in Canada. Where's Andrew when you need him? Tried to ask him these questions. There is no freedom of speech in Canada. I remember one, I don't know her name, so I won't even bother with. She wasn't allowed to speak there because of her views. Something like that, but no hate speech in Canada either. Can't do that. Probably one of the reasons why that lady couldn't go there. But anyway, banned from the Houston Hilton Starbucks. Yeah, they made him get out there. They told him what line they couldn't cross when they're out on the public sidewalk, and tried to ask why, and they said, well, it's because it's a rule, it's a law, if you come across it, you're going to get arrested, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it happens a lot in a lot of different places with a lot of different venues. No hate here. It's regulated hate by property owners. I don't know. If you own private property, you can do exactly what the hell you want to do. I guess. Make up your own darn rules. Make a line that you cannot cross. Whatever. What is this? Oh, and I really hate this story. I do not like this story at all, but I have to put it out there. Hopefully, it's the end of it. This NFL thing with Kirkpatrick, you know, he apparently got an ad. Well, he does an ad for Nike, I guess. And there is the ad in this link, but Trump still doesn't like it. Trump and the police, scorch Nike for a Kaepernick ad. I mean, yes, it's okay. I agree with free speech. But still, there's consequences when you open your mouth and what you say. I mean, even if you can say it, but if you're going to defame somebody or lie about somebody, there are laws for that. You can't, you know, lie about somebody just because you don't like him or something. But anyway, the whole thing that with Kirkpatrick was that he wasn't going to stand and during the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag of the United States of America, who made him rich, okay? Got him, he was able to go get a job because of his country, okay? And play a sport. I mean, something that he would do anyway and get paid for it. I mean, what a great country that would be, huh? And millions of dollars. And then once you've got these millions of dollars, and it happens to a lot of people in Hollywood, these stars, once they've made all this bunch of money and they wait longer in between movies, I guess they get bored and then they start opening their mouths, you know. Anyways, wish I could remember a few of them. One that went to Katrina. Started, degrading the police force there and all kinds of stuff. See, they got nothing else better to do, so they go on some kind of crusade. So, believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Well, that's a great catchphrase. It certainly is. But, anyways, regardless of my opinion, let's just go listen to the ad. I mean, the ad's pretty good up until he makes his remarks. If you know about Kirkpatrick and his refusal, got down on one knee and refused to stand for the flag. I guess this is America. You could do that too. But then he had to open his mouth and started putting down police, and then it just blew out of proportion. Of course, the NFL, because of it, have lost a lot of revenue. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I think he doesn't have a job anymore. He doesn't play football anymore. Nobody will have him. They're still trying to set that NFL back on its normal track. There's still teams and players out there that, for whatever reason, because they don't have the same reason that Kirkpatrick had for kneeling during the Pledge of Allegiance. In any case, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's for another discussion, you know what I mean? I'm a true patriot. I love my country. My country is not what I grew up knowing it was. It was all a lie, but I still love my country. I love my flag. I would never burn it or disrespect it because it's a symbol of my country. I don't hold it over my God. Because the Pledge of Allegiance specifically says one nation under God. That's why I didn't think there was anything wrong with the Pledge of Allegiance, for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Of course, a lot of people will certainly debate you on that. But anyways, A lot of uproar. Big talk whether Nike will, how much they will lose with this. It affected stock markets, I believe, today. Oh, I saw that. But anyway, enough of that. What else do I got here? Oh, just some crazy news. Yeah, and I'm trying to get, I recommended that earthquaketrack.com. I recommended that, okay, without actually using it a lot. I think I used it for a day or two. I've got it up here now, and I've tried to track the earthquake, the 6.6 that happened in Japan, on this earthquaketrack.com, and I even went under recent and asked for recent quakes, and it's not showing me. It's not showing me those quakes. So it's not updated. That's all I can say. It's not updated. Right there on the list, the last one they got is 7 days ago. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Could be. Could be. But I went on, I pressed recent. I even changed the magnitudes to 5 to make sure it would change. I'll even go and change it to 6. Let's go change it to 6. But anyways, that's the last story I got, except for that square UFO that they saw over New York skies. I believe it was yesterday. Oh, so they did. Huh. So I went to magnitude 6. So you got to know the magnitude, I guess. I don't know why. If I put filtered magnitude 5 point or better, which is a plus sign afterward, you figured it would give me that quake. But it didn't. It did it when I entered 6.0 magnitude or better. So that is still a problem with their site, but it is here. And it says about 5 hours ago. So I guess got to do a lot of work in here, changing the magnitudes if you want to get all the magnitudes. 8 days ago. Yeah, that was 7.1. Yeah, but it's here, 6.6, 5 hours ago. So yeah, that's my last story here. Mystery square aircraft hovering in the night sky scared me to death. North Carolina man says. Okay. I just put this up there for one reason. People are, I believe, a part of the great deception that they talk about in the Bible may have to do with so-called aliens, which I know to be fallen angels who can basically manifest anything they want to look like. Satan did in the book of Jasher, I believe it was chapter 6, where he manifested into a roaring brook to try and distract Abraham and Isaac when they were going to the mountain. When Abraham, remember, was going to sacrifice his one and only son, his only begotten son, Isaac. God wanted to know if he would do it or not. It was a much bigger plan than that, obviously. It's the same story of God, giving up his son, his only begotten son, to die for our sins. It's a multi-level story there. But anyways, Satan did change himself into a brook. And Abraham and Isaac walked up to their chins or chest, somewhere in that area, before they realized, I don't remember there being a brook here the last time we walked this way. And then the devil disappeared. We know that he can disappear. You know about the, what was it, the eunuch? I think it was. What apostle went to see that eunuch and is sitting in the chariot? He was reading the book. I forget which book he was reading, but he asked to be baptized. You remember that? And he got baptized. Him and the eunuch drove to a water hole. He got baptized, and the next thing you know, the apostle was in another city. Just poof, gone. Enoch turned around and he was not there anymore. And it does say that he went to another city. It was seen there. So that does happen. A lot of things magically disappear in the Old Testament. It's an awesome history book, especially when Jesus came back, and appeared and reappeared in and out of people who were trying to harm them, or the apostles after his resurrection, right in the middle of the building that they were in. Okay? And of course, Doubting Thomas needed to put his hand in the side of Jesus. Awesome stories. Anyways, all right. Before I start rambling on into all that, because it's awesome. I hated history in school. I was never any good at it, but I guess we're all called to learn the history of God and His people. And so, with that, everyone, just want to say, have a great evening. Keep your family close. Forgive them. Maybe they'll forgive you. Just love them. Keep them close. These times and these days, it's not worth these momentary material things that just have, as who said that? Solomon? It's all vanity. Maybe it wasn't Solomon. Maybe it was. It's all just vanity. It just doesn't mean nothing. It means nothing. What means everything is our spirits, the souls we have that carry our spirits, and the loved ones that carry them as well. What matters the most is those things. We're here for another reason. We're here to learn these things. And so how can we do that when material possessions, material objects get in between the love of family and the body of Christ? No, we can't let that happen. It's too important. And the other things are just so not important. Yeah. Anyway, with that, everyone, peace out.